Hello everyone, my name is Urban Steve Cardenas and I'm a PhD student at the Advanced Cellular Robotics Research Lab at Kent State University, located in Kent, Ohio, USA. And today I will give an overview of our paper titled AREN, Assistive Augmented Reality Operations and Navigation System for NASA's Exploration Extravehicular Mobility Unit. This paper was authored by the key members of the ATR Labs NASA Suits Challenge team, which placed among the top 10 teams in this year's NASA Suits Challenge. This is an overview of what we'll be covering today in this presentation. There's a lot to cover, but feel free to reach out with any questions or comments. Artemis is NASA's new lunar exploration program, which includes sending the first woman. Through the Artemis program, NASA will use new technology to study the moon in new and better ways and prepare for human missions to Mars. This encompasses the development of launch vehicles, spacecraft, moon landers, and the development of more sophisticated spacesuits, in particular spacesuits that allow astronauts to perform exploratory missions. These suits and the technology that integrates into the suit are what we call Exploration Extravehicular Mobility Unit, or XEMU in short. To this end, the NASA Suits Challenge was started. NASA Suits stands for Spacesuit User Interface Technologies for Students, and it's an ongoing yearly challenge where students propose and develop a set of augmented reality interfaces. Amongst all proposed submissions, only top 10 teams from across the country are selected to visit and demonstrate their interfaces at the Johnson Space Center. These interfaces must consider a set of tasks and the interactions enabled by the augmented reality interfaces. Some of these tasks include scientific data collection, fixing a rover, and overall being able to interact with the vital information of the suit. Our research and implementation encompasses the fields of human-computer interaction, where we explore the concept of data-driven reactive interfaces, human-robot interaction, as we explore the use of augmented reality to control robots, and in particular, we extend our research on immersive telepresence through the application of our immersive robot control suit, called the telesuit, to the context of monitoring the state of a user while interacting with our interfaces. Overall, our approach is focused around 4 key considerations. The first one is collaborative activity between all parties involved doing an extravehicular activity. In particular, we focus on the interaction between synthetic agents that monitor the system state and robot agents which astronauts may interact with. The second consideration is eligibility of the system state, the operational state, and the communication patterns. This refers to developing the system and interfaces in such a way that the users and developers can better understand and introspect different components of the system itself. The third one relates to developing data-driven augmented reality interfaces. By performing analytics on the data that is streamed throughout the extravehicular activity, the augmented reality interfaces are able to adequately adapt to changes in the data patterns or anomalies. Lastly, we focus on applying psychophysical experiments to evaluate visual, auditory, and haptic feedback. In particular, we focus on applying our research on immersive telepresence, focusing on situational awareness and developing interfaces that are reactive, meaning that they react to environmental contexts. Furthermore, we focus on developing a fully voice-driven experience by leveraging both open-source software such as Tacotron voice synthesization models and cloud services. The voice assistant called EVA facilitates the interaction between the user and different parts of the entire system. The goal with the introduction of a voice assistant is to allow for bidirectional communication that would enable the AREN system as a whole to gain situational awareness by communicating back and forth with the astronaut. Overall, we wanted to improve collaborative activity. The scope of the design and implementation of the system was centered around 4 tasks or use cases. First, suit vitals, being able to read the vitals information. Second, science sampling, enhancing the astronaut's ability to take environmental samples during an exploration EVA. Third, rover repair, enhancing an astronaut's ability to perform repairs such as tire replacements. Fourth, adapting to environment light variance, that is, allowing the astronaut to view the augmented space as the external environment lighting changes. This is our concept of operations, or CONOPS for short. CONOPS is a document describing the characteristics of a proposed system from the viewpoint of an individual who will use the system. Defining a CONOPS is a requirement for any NASA research and development proposal. Here are a few high-fidelity designs. On the top left is what we refer to as the Quick Looks Vitals view. The top right shows the robot repair view with a set of task panels. The bottom left shows one of the visualization tools and a set of task panels as well. The bottom right, our color palette is shown. We developed a human-in-the-loop test that emulated the robot repair and robot collaboration. This test also included assessing the physical state of the user and the environmental state. We further discuss how this was made possible in our paper. Below, we highlight some of the vital signals obtained by using our immersive telepresence suit. In this slide, we present some screenshots of the implementation. The augmented reality interfaces were developed for the Magic Leap augmented reality headset and implemented using the Unity game engine. On the top right corner is an implementation of our Quick Looks view. As described in our paper, the user is able to call back each different view and can also lock the panels on demand. Below that is one of the communication feedback icons, followed by one of our visualization tools. And below, there are some additional screenshots of our vision recognition system implemented on the Magic Leap, and a view of our robot control interface. To further test these interfaces, we extended our work on a telepresence control suit and developed an XR wearable suit. Similar to our previous work, this suit monitors the movement of the users and is able to monitor biosignals through embedded sensors. During trials, these sensors allow us to monitor the state of the user and understand the constraints with our augmented reality interfaces. For example, overexertion and repetitive hand motions that might lead to discomfort for the user. Here are some samples of the analytics we perform on the simulated data. So in essence, the analytics of the data drive how the interfaces are displayed or how feedback is presented to the user. For example, if there's a high priority anomaly, then we would immediately inform the user through visual and auditory feedback. Here are two quick demos of the interactions with our augmented reality interface. Eva, communicate with robot.
No problem.
Eva, use waypoint tool.
Check.
Eva, ask robot to navigate.
No problem.
Eva, show robot state panel.
Here you go.
Eva, lock state panel. Eva, unlock state panel. The system detects that it's been going on for more than 5 seconds, and different alerts will appear
There is a connectivity issue.
that will persist. And so we can also visualize data to understand the system better. Eva, visualize fan telemetry.
Take a look at this chart.
And so we can see that its current, it's around 39,000 RPMs, which is okay. But then we might also get a type of anomaly, and the system will let us know if it's decreasing rapidly.
Anomaly detected with fan.
And as we can see, the anomaly has started taking place, and the system detected based on a threshold or other kinds of actual indicators that we implemented behind the scenes. And then the system could also alert us if it's resolved. Overall, some of the major constraints came from the hardware itself. The Magic Leap has a limited field of view as well as predefined clipping planes. Besides that, current augmented reality headsets are computational constrained, so runtime video recognition is not feasible. Instead, we perform image recognition where the headset takes a photo and then the photo is processed. Another constraint is within the telemetry server provided by NASA. The data generated does not contain enough variance for the interfaces to reactively interact with the user. Further development of the telemetry server is required to truly simulate data that will be produced during an exploration EVA. In conclusion, AARON is a reactive data-driven augmented reality system with an underlying infrastructure that affords collaborative activity. This work was presented at the 2020 NASA Suits Challenge by the Advanced Robotics Research Lab, which was one of the top teams selected across the US to present at the Johnson Space Center. Overall, there's still a lot of ongoing work required to fully develop reactive interfaces and to truly bridge our work on immersive telepresence robotics and the work being done to develop smarter and more sophisticated exploration mobility units that leverage augmented reality. Thank you very much for your time, and feel free to view our full demo online as well as reach out to us with any questions or comments you may have.